What is good, YouTube? It's your boy OG Nonboy, back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be going over the World Champions team of Sableye, Deoxys Defense, and Medicham. So I found out about this team on Tho Technical's stream, and he was in the comment section, and Tho decided to run his team and did very well with it, having a lot of very positive sets including 5-0s and 4-1s, and I was able to go 5-0 in this set here that I'm going to show you. And overall, so far, across 3 sets, I've been able to go 13-2 with this team. So without further ado, let's get into these matches here. So first match, we have Sableye into Pawniard, and we don't really like this lead as the Sableye, so we swap into our Deoxys Defense. Even though we're going to be taking super effective from the Night Slashes here, as you can see, the double super effective counter damage is doing a lot to the Pawniard. So they bring in the Cresselia, and we're just going to have to stay in here since we are kind of forced in here, and we're just gonna get off as many of these rock slides as we can before we go down. So I'm anticipating that the opponent wants to have a lot of energy coming out of this matchup, as they can throw a super effective play rough on our, oh, just kidding, it's not a play rough, it's a moonblast on our Sableye. So they throw a grass knot so they can do an aggressive farm down, but we're able to get to another rock slide because of that, and we put them pretty low. So we're going to come back in here with our Sableye. They might only be able to get to one Moonblast before we're able to Shadow Claw them down. And I'm going to let that go since I know our Medicham might be able to handle whatever's in the back and the Pawniard at the same time. So that ends up being the case as they have a Mandibuzz in the back. So we're going to go for the Power Up Punch bait here, and the opponent shields us. So now we're in a pretty comfortable position, even though we are taking super effective damage from the air slashes. Since we have 2 shields and we're ramping up our damage with the power up punch, we should be in a pretty comfortable position. So as long as we time our fast moves properly, they shouldn't be able to catch on their Pawniard as well. So we are in a pretty comfortable position here. So they try to catch, but we just farm them down, and the opponent knows that it's over, so they can see the match. GG's to my opponent there. Next match, we have Sableye into Deoxys, which is a positive lead for us, and they're going to swap out immediately into the Drapion. So I'm going to bring my Medicham in here, and I'm going to go for the Power Up Punch, even though the Ice Punch does make this matchup a little bit more comfortable, I guess. But the thing is, they get to 2 crunches in 10 turns, and it takes us 12 turns to get the 2 ice punches, but they were actually running the sludge bomb, so I know that if I throw another move, I should be able to take them out before they reach a second move there. So now they bring the Deoxys Defense back in, and our damage here is boosted by the power up punch. So these ice punches are chunking a little bit extra, and the opponent knows that they can't farm us all the way down if they want to not tank another move, so they decide to throw the rock slide, and we bring our Sableye in, and then they swap into the Mandibuzz. And this is why Deoxys Defense is so powerful as a safe swap in this cup, since it beats the Mandibuzz in the 1 and 2 shield scenario. So even though you're going to be taking super effective damage from the foul plays there, these rock slides do super effective damage, and the counter damage is pretty good as well, even though it's non-stabbed. So we're just going to go ahead and play this out. Another one of those really annoying matchups that you kind of just have to play through. It takes forever, and that's just the nature of it when Mandibuzz and Umbreon are some of the top Pokemon in a cup. So like I said before, as long as you throw on good alignment, then your opponent shouldn't be able to catch a move, and they do attempt to right there. But if you're a 2-turn fast move playing against a 3-turn fast move, you want to throw on either 1, 4, 7, or 10. So that'll keep your opponent from catching. Next match here, we have the Victini lead, and they swap into the Skuntank here, and we go for the Power Up Punch. We're going to have to eat a move first, though, and we get this off. So we're going to be able to outpace them to our next Ice Punch, so we're going to make them make the decision on whether they want to shield or not. So if they let this go, they'll be taken out. And since our damage is boosted, they wisely let that go, so they're able to get a nice farm down on the Victini though, which kind of helps them out a little bit. since they are going to be realigned against my Sableye. And an overheat as well would also do a lot of damage, so I'm going to shield this first move just in case they decide to overheat and dip. But they just throw a V-Create, but this is okay too since like we snuck a Shadow Claw through when they threw the second move and they're already debuffed, so that's going to do a lot of extra damage. And I go for the return here, kind of unnecessary since they did have 2 shields, so it was pretty obvious shield by them. But now we bring in our Deoxys, and we're going to try to get off a couple of Psycho Boosts to take out this Poliwrath here, but they debuff us once already with the Scald, and when you go back-to-back Psycho Boosts, the second Psycho Boost is already dropped by 2 stages, so since we are dropped by 1 stage already, this second Psycho Boost that I'm going to be throwing is 3 stages debuffed, and as you're going to see here, it just really doesn't do a whole lot of damage, so they're going to try to farm me down, but they actually switch into their Victini here, and since we are switch locked, I decide to throw the Psycho Boost here. And even though like that happened, we should be in an okay position, as we should be able to farm them all the way down before they're able to reach another move there. So GG's to that opponent. Poliwrath, definitely a very interesting pick that I haven't seen before in this cup, so props to them. Next match here, we have the Galarian Rapidash into our like Sableye, so now they swap in the Mana Buzz, and our Deoxys defense should be able to help us maintain switch here. But I did talk about fast move alignment like in the last matchup and how he should throw on 1, 4, 7, or 10, and that's what I'm going to do here. But that actually kind of cost me a little bit, since if I had gotten my Rock Slide off before having to take this move, then it might have been better for us. But we're going to go ahead and get this off, and this is going to take them out. But actually, maybe the Rock Slide wouldn't have KO'd them, and I would have had to shield to get some extra like counter damage in to take them out. But either way, we're still in a pretty solid position since we do have the alignment that we want, and they're going to have to throw it unless they want to either have to shield or tank another Rock Slide. So if they have Play Rough here, though, it's going to be pretty rough for our Sableye. No pun intended, but they throw a Body Slam bait, and they have a Umbreon in the back. But since our Medicham knows Power Up Punch, this is actually still a pretty solid matchup for us, even though they're 2 shields ahead. So they still will be able to take us out, but their health will be so low that our Sableye should be able to manage them, since we do still have basically full health on our Sableye. So I'm just going to go ahead and play this match out here. Umbreon is, again, one of those really tanky Pokemon that kind of makes these matches take a little extra longer, but I mean, that's okay. We're in a pretty comfortable position here, and I'm going to get this next Power Up Punch up. Likely going to get the last shield here. And we do, they throw the last Foul Play, but we should be in a solid position here. So they bring their Rapidash back in. We're able to farm them down before they get to another move, and we even get the return. So we're going to be able to hit our opponent with that, and that is a GG's. Foul Play would have also been enough at that range as well. So next match, we have Sableye into Skuntank, and the way the World Champion suggests you play these Dark Poison matchups in the lead is you build up to a return, and then you bait with the Foul Play. And then after you do that, you swap into your Deoxys defense. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We have to shield up this first move here. Or we don't have to, but I'm going to, since it's going to do quite a bit of damage to us. I'm going to go ahead and tank on the Deoxys defense, since, you know, they're probably going to swap in something that can handle the Deoxys pretty easily, and I don't really want to go a shield down. So in the 2-to-1 shields, or 0-to-1 shields rather, the Mana Buzz would have been able to take our Deoxys defense anyways, so it's a good thing I didn't shield in the prior matchup. So now I'm going to bring my my Sableye into the Mana Buzz just to soak up this energy. And I'm going to just put it all on the Medicham in the back at this point. So I'm going to take out the Mana Buzz with our Foul Play and instantly swap into our Medicham here. I'm going to throw this Power Up Punch right away, and this should, if they don't shield, like take them out after one counter, and they won't be able to reach a move. And they have an Alolan Raichu, so we still have a little bit of our Sableye left, which is going to be pretty handy for us since the Shadow Claw damage really adds up on a Alolan Raichu here, especially if the opponent debuffs themselves by throwing a Wild Charge. So I figure that they don't really want to debuff themselves, so they're going to throw the... Geez, it's lagging quite a bit here, but they throw the Thunder Punch instead, and that allows us to get to an Ice Punch here. I don't know why it's lagging all of a sudden, but essentially we're able to throw the Ice Punch here, and then we are able to snipe them down with one Shadow Claw with our Sableye. So that ends up winning us that match, and we're able to go 5-0 in the set. And again, I went pretty positive with this team, a total of 13-2 in my first 3 sets with this team, and I'm definitely going to continue to run it for a bit to try to gain some elo. But that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and also submit your battles in the link in the description below, and I'll see you in the next one.